Good morning, teachers. I am Doibi, and I would like to welcome all of you in today's session. Hope you are doing well. So, in our today's session, this is our third online workshop, and I would like to share that in our first workshop we have discussed on teaching stories and poems, and in our second workshop we have discussed on teaching competencies through stories. And after incorporating feedback from our teachers, and we have received lots of requirements from our teachers, and their request was to conduct a session on teaching grammar. So in today's session we are going to discuss on teaching grammar through stories. So again, I would like to welcome all of our teachers in today's session. And in today's session, we have Vidisha with us, and I would like to invite Vidisha in today's session. So welcome, Vidisha. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Doibi. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing really well. So, as Doibi shared, that in today's session we'll discuss how to teach grammar, and we are doing this grammar through stories. I hope this method will be very interesting for all of you and easy for our students. This is a specific different way in which we are discussing grammar. So Doibi, I think we can start.
Yes, Vidisha. So I would request our teachers to share their thoughts or ideas, any questions in the chat box, or also we will ask so many questions. So please participate through the chat box. So Vidisha,
And Doibi, before we begin, I think I want to thank our teachers that they provide us such active feedback through our forms at the end of the session, so that we are aware about what the requirement is, what they would like help with. So I think their feedback, like grammar পড়ানোর গ্রামারের জন্য যে ফিডব্যাকটা ছিল, that has helped us in designing this session. So I want to thank our teachers যে ওরা এত অ্যাক্টিভলি আমাদের সঙ্গে ফিডব্যাক শেয়ার করে। আর আজকের সেশনটা দৈবী একটু আলাদা, কেন কি আমরা সবসময় আমরা কেমন করি ক্লাসে যে আমরা আগে নালে we discuss rules and then we give examples for a grammar item, or we give examples and then we come to the rule. But in both cases I feel that it is a little difficult for students. The first method, because it is a lot of অনেক জিনিস মনে রাখতে হয়, অনেক কটা রুলস আর প্রিন্সিপালস মনে রাখতে হয়, আর তারপরে বাচ্চারা ওটাকে অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারে। And in the second case also, even though we give a lot of examples, still because our students are not that familiar with English language, তো ওই জন্য it is difficult for them যে 4-5টা এক্সাম্পল দেখে ওটার থেকে রুল ডেরাইভ করা, ওটা একটা আমার মনে হয় +1 স্কিল যেটা আমাদের বাচ্চারা স্ট্রাগল করে। তো ওই জন্য আজকের যে সেশনটা আছে ওটাতে আমরা আমরা স্টোরিজ আর পোয়েমস তো অলরেডি বুকসের থ্রু পড়াই। We have to teach lessons, and our textbook is full of different genres of literature. So we will use that only to teach grammar, so that along with reading comprehension, writing, students see how any grammar item is used throughout the lesson. So they get a context, and they can also see the use of, for example, verb এর use কেমন করে হচ্ছে in language, ওটা দেখার জন্য ওদের কাছে একটা পুরো লেসন আছে, because we are pointing out to them যে verb use হচ্ছে। So I think it gives students more opportunity to see the use of grammar, any grammar item in the language. So that is why we have planned this session in this manner. And yes, Zoe, let's start. So what will we be discussing specifically today?
Yes, so today our objective is focused on mainly grammar, as you have mentioned. So today we are going to cover 3 topics, like transitive and intransitive verbs, compound words, and adverbs. So I think we are going to take some examples, and of course we are using text like in our sessions, in our previous sessions also we have taken chapters from our textbooks, and also we have taken chapters from class 6, class 8, and today we have taken a chapter from class 7. And Vidisha, I think you can remember, our teachers can also recall this chapter, expert detectives, and this is
Yes,
a very
yes.
interesting
Very
story
interesting.
about
True.
two siblings, Maya and Nishad. These
Nishad.
characters are beautifully depicted by the author. So I think this will be very interesting, and let's see how we are incorporating grammar items while teaching in the chapter. So
Sure.
Vidisha, I think we should start. And before starting, I can share that this chapter is on detectives, and I think all of us are very fond of, because in Tripura also people are fond of detective stories. From our childhood we have read lots of detective stories, and we have Feluda, Bomkesh, lots of detective characters, Sherlock Holmes. So we have read, we have watched on TV. So this is a very famous term, and also a very famous genre of literature. So I think we all know about detectives. So there is a question. I would like to start with a question
হুম,
for all our teachers, and also for you, Vidisha.
আমি
Ki,
জানতাম আমাকে তো আনসার করাবেই। হ্যাঁ,
yes, every time we come up with lots of questions.
হ্যাঁ।
So, uh, what does a detective do? Yeah, our
ও,
teachers, I would request our teachers to share what does a detective do?
so I
Any,
think let
yeah,
us all think like detectives. Let us all assume that we all are
yes,
detectives, and let's think to solve a case, what would we have to do? হুম, তো আমি সবাই টিচার্সদেরকে রিকোয়েস্ট করবো যে প্লিজ চ্যাট বক্সে তাড়াতাড়ি লিখুন যে আপনারা ডিটেকটিভ, আপনারা কি কি টাস্ক করবেন টু সলভ আ কেস। I think I will investigate Doibi something before
okay,
solving a case. Yes,
okay,
Sunanda ma'am
Sunanda
agrees
ma'am,
with me.
right,
Investigate cases. Yes, we will
investigate
investigate
cases.
cases.
Okay,
Uh,
uh, yeah, I
what will
think.
you do?
I think before investigation, we get a case study, a detective get a case
Hmm.
study from a client.
Hmm.
So I think
So there's another response saying find the clues, find the thieves.
clues.
আমি হ্যান্ডেলটার নাম শেয়ার করছি, পিস অ্যাট মাইন্ড অ্যান্ড হার্ট। আমি ওটা
Mm-hmm.
হ্যান্ডেলটা কার আমি জানি না। সো ফাইন্ড দ্য থিভস অ্যান্ড ফাইন্ড ক্লুজ। ইয়েস, I will find the clues, find the thief. I will also follow people. If I suspect somebody,
Yes, right.
I will follow them to see what they are doing, where they are going. I've seen a lot of CID.
Yeah, I think identify the suspect. That is also
Yeah,
a role
yes.
of a detective. Supriti Das, ma'am, she has
Has
shared
shared.
detects and solve
Solves the
problems.
problems. True.
Yes. So definitely, Vidisha. So there are
Yes.
lots of
So
replies,
responses, yeah.
yeah, responses from our teachers. So here, I here also some examples: studying the case, investigating
Hmm.
a case, like our teachers have also shared, identifying the suspects, observing secretly, or solving mystery. So I think, yeah, Siddharth Bhattacharya sir also, he has also replied, detective
স্যারেরও
to
ফেভারিট,
solve problems like CID.
স্যারেরও
Okay,
ফেভারিট সিরিয়াল আমার মতন সিআইডি। থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
yes.
তো
So I,
হ্যাঁ,
yeah, Vidisha. So
হ্যাঁ।
I think. So we have received so many replies.
হুম,
Now we can focus on the grammar part.
ওকে।
And can you identify the verbs in the
Oh,
replies in
in
the
these, in
in,
the
yes, in
screen
these
that you're showing, okay.
yes.
So okay, Doibi's question is if you can identify the verbs. Yes, of course. Verbs are action words, as I know. And so studying is a verb. Teachers can also share. I think our teachers are still acting as detectives and sharing that we will follow people on social media and mobiles. So follow karna, I think, is also a verb.
Yes,
Uh,
follow. Mhm.
observe.
observe.
অবজার্ভ করা, আমাদের টিচার্সরা
Yes,
বলতে পারে আরো কোন কোনগুলো এই এই
action
অ্যাক্টিভিটিতে কি
words.
কি অ্যাকশন ওয়ার্ডস বা ভার্বস আছে।
Yes. So I think observing, identify, follow,
ফলো, ইয়েস,
inquiry,
ইনকোয়ারিং, ট্রু।
yeah, study. These are all verbs.
হুম,
So I think Vidisha, here our objective is to revise the verb items.
ইয়েস।
So action words. I think in class 7, students already know what are
হুম,
verbs or action words. They already
হুম,
know, and we can just revise. Or this activity can be a pre-knowledge activity before we start introducing more an advanced level of teaching verbs.
yeah.
So I think this will help students to identify the verbs what they have already shared, and
So yeah, we
this,
are assuming that
yeah,
students already know verbs, and hence we are introducing transitive and intransitive. But there will be in any case, if in our classes students don't know verbs, and in elementary classes if they don't know verbs,
yeah,
then in the same method যেরকম আমরা এখানে previous knowledge এর জন্য verb use করেছি, হয়তো ওখানে previous knowledge এর জন্য noun বা কোনো একটা activity we can do in which students will be able to clearly identify the action and then relate that actions are action words are called verbs. So maybe we can in case we haven't introduced, then we can introduce it through the stories and take a different previous knowledge. But in this case you are right, we are assuming that students already know verbs, hence we are teaching them transitive and intransitive verbs. ঠিক আছে, so I think I are all on the same page,
yeah,
and let's
same
see how
page.
we can find transitive, learn transitive, intransitive in the lesson. Yes, Devi.
So definitely, Vidisha. So I think this activity also can take us to the chapter, or also give students some clues about the chapter. What is the
Hmm.
chapter about? It is about detective
Hmm.
and problem solving, observing, investigating. So this can create curiosity among children. What kind of story this is. So now we can move on to the story. And before reading the story, we can take help of a video. So I think this video is also in our app, in the Pragyan app. So our teachers can use this video and display this video on the TV. And also I think they can share through their mobile also, and play and pause the
Right.
video and discuss with children. So Vidisha, I think আমরাও একবার এই ভিডিওটা দেখি and
ঠিক
teachers
আছে।
আমরাও একবার ডিসকাস করার চেষ্টা করি. So just let me share the
Sure.
screen.
So this teaching idea is also there in our app. Mane other activities will be there, not the same activities that we are doing today, but the teaching idea, worksheets, videos for students, videos for our teachers, the entire plan is there on the Pragyan app. So I think teachers can take help whenever they require. Yes, Doibi,
Yes.
let's see the
So
video.
let's play the video.
This is the story of two siblings, Nishad and Maya, who were curious to learn more about their mysterious neighbor. Their mother was a doctor, and their neighbor, Mr. Nath, was one of her patients.
Vidisha, I'd like to stop here.
Okay.
And I'm asking one question.
Hmm.
Is there anything suspicious or strange about Mr. Nath? Can you observe something strange about Mr. Nath? Our teachers can also reply. So
I would
can you
request our
observe
teachers
something?
to share, like, because all of us are detectives. So I
Yeah.
think we can find out clues about Mr. Nath. Doibi, আমার তো মনে হচ্ছে Mr. Nath ভীষণ রোগা. He's very thin. Look at his
Yes.
hands. He's so thin, and he looks worried also, very worried.
Yeah.
That is how that is what I see different about Mr. Nath. Like the doctor is smiling, she seems,
His
her eyes seem
haircut.
happy,
Yeah.
but Mr. Nath looks very worried and also is very thin. So I think our teachers can share if they find anything peculiar or unique about Mr. Nath.
Yes,
কিভাবে
peace, mind, and heart. Uh, I don't know about this handle, but
yes,
he has shared sad. He or she
yes,
maybe, or sad. Yes, Mr.
yes.
Nath is looking sad,
Looking
rightly
sad, the
you have
eyes
said.
and the face expression
Yeah,
suggests
he's
that he's.
worried, sad,
Sunanda ma'am says that he
thin.
looks tensed.
Yeah,
Definitely he looks very tensed,
yeah.
as if.
Can you observe his scar on his face? That is also
Yes,
visible in
yes. I
this.
think there is a
Yeah.
this is mark like number 7 on his face.
So with
English digit 7 on his face.
yeah,
There's a scar,
exactly.
yes.
Exactly. So we can play and pause the video in
Yeah,
between, and we can ask this kind of question to engage
yeah.
children. So let's play a little more.
Patience. Nishad, popularly called Seven, always felt sorry for Mr. Nath, who hardly spoke with anyone. Nishad thought Mr. Nath was thin because he was poor and had no food to eat. But Maya thought Mr. Nath was a criminal who had hidden the loot in his room. She didn't believe he was starving because he ordered meals from the nearby restaurant. Since Mr. Nath did not work but still paid the food bills in cash and tipped the delivery boy generously, Maya was sure he had a trunk full of gold and jewels.
So I'm stopping in this phase. So I think Vidisha, one more question. Why Maya
Okay.
was suspicious about Mr. Nath? What was her observation about Mr. Nath?
Oh, okay. I think our teachers have to help me in this because um, so Maya, and I can see Maya and Nishad are of different opinions. Nishad feels sorry for Mr. Nath. কিন্তু
Yes.
মায়ার মনে হয় যে মিস্টার নাথ ইজ a crook, মানে he has
Yes.
done some crime and he's hiding. um, so I think yes, that is Maya's opinion, that he is a criminal. Criminal also, because I think all of us are seeing her. Maya is giving her logic also, that um, he is
Yeah, she's continuously observing him
yes, yes,
and his
like an expert
actions,
detective. Maya is
like
observing Mr. Nath, and
who gives him
somehow
food.
yes, and who gives him food and how does he pay for the food. And
She,
Nishad and they are of different opinions, that
yes, yes, Shunanda ma'am has shared,
yeah.
as she is ordering food and doesn't go for work. Yes,
Hmm.
definitely. She,
So he has lot of money.
yes,
Yes,
he has a lot
definitely.
of money. From where
There's
he
another
gets money?
answer. The physical appearance of Mr. Nathan makes Maya very doubtful.
Yes,
So yes, definitely he is thin. He has a scar, and he always is hiding. He does not work, but he pays for food in cash, and he orders from the same place every day. So I think these are the things that are making Maya matlab is Maya making Maya suspect that Mr. Nath is a crook and he's hiding something.
yes, definitely. So I think uh, we can also observe something strange in Mr. Nath, and we can also share why
Hmm.
should we suspect Mr. Nath as a crooked man. And yeah, so I think there are lots of clues in this
Yeah.
video, and we can discuss on
Maya
it.
also believed the scars on Mr. Nath's face were the result of an encounter with the police, although her mother had told them they were burn scars. One day, Nishad went to Mr. Nath's house and offered him a bar of chocolate. Ramesh, the boy who delivered Mr. Nath's meals, told Nishad that Mr. Nath had the same visitor every Sunday afternoon. Maya thought the regular visitor was Mr. Nath's partner in crime.
So, Vidisha, I think there are lots of questions we can ask with, to children, and I think this This will be very engaging activity. We play and pause the video and ask
Right.
children lots of questions, and we can also have so many points that why should we suspect, from our point of view, why should we
Hmm.
suspect Mr. Nath as a good man.
And
So
it
they,
can be a good
yeah.
conversation point also, that do our students think that they would want to support Nishad's view that Mr. Nath is not hiding something, he is just unwell and recovering from an illness like their mother said, or would they want to subscribe to the view of Maya and think that he is a criminal and he is hiding something? So we can এটা একটা ডিবেটের মতন হতে পারে ক্লাসে, যে কেন ওরা নিশাদকে সাপোর্ট করছে বা মায়ার অবজারভেশনসকে সাপোর্ট করছে। they can also share their views, and then like this we can engage our students also by asking several questions, and students can answer. They will come up with many answers, different answers according to their observation. So we will be able to engage students and help them understand the video properly.
Yes. So I think this video will give a summary of the story, and we can also do a similar kind of activity in our class. And also we can do one more activity like this. We can play a small part of the video, and also we can ask children, after watching that particular part, we can ask children to read the paragraph from their textbook. So here we have also taken a small portion of the textbook, and what we have already shared in the video, we are taking this part to read. I think our teachers can also read in their screen. Vidisha, I think this kind of activity we can easily conduct in our classroom, and this will help children to
In
read and
understanding
comprehend
the
the
text.
story.
Definitely, because
Yeah.
now that they have seen the video, they know the story. Now, when they start to read the text, it is a challenge that our teachers had shared in Tripura workshop also, and generally the students face problem in reading and understanding the meaning. But now that they have seen the video, maybe texted meaning ta bujhte, it will be a little easier for the students to understand the lesson now.
Yes, and one more thing, when students will try to read the story by themselves, this will make them more curious about the story.
Right.
And when where we are play and pause the video, and ask children what happened next. Can you guess what happened next? So these kind of questions and activity, that will create more curiosity among children. So we can move to our next activity, and I think we should check, after reading exercise, we should check the comprehension also. So for this comprehension activity, we can play this kind of game with children, like matching activity. So I have taken some lines from the text,
Right.
and I have written it on column A and column B.
Right.
And Vidisha, you can also help. Our teachers can also help to match the sentences. You can read the sentences and try to match the sentences with column
Column
B.
A and column B.
Column
Okay.
B.
So
Yes.
I think our teachers can share in the chat box if they think one A or one B or
Yeah.
like that. They can
3B,
share.
anything.
Yes, they can share how they what they feel is the second part of the sentence.
Yeah. So
Maybe
Vidisha.
I think we can wait for our teachers to share. I'll just share what I feel. আমার মনে হয় 3B হবে।
3B. Okay. Maya jotted down stubbornly. So Vidisha, I think you can read, you can take one more attempt and try to recall the text. Did Maya jot it down? Did she done something like this very stubbornly, or who was more stubborn? Can you recall something like this?
Sunanda ma'am is sharing 1D. Thank you, Sunanda ma'am. 2C, okay.
Yeah.
Ramesh was bringing meals for Mr. Nath. Maya suspected Mr. Nath as a crooked man. Yes, thank you, ma'am. 2C,
3A.
1B.
And Maya jotted down
Right.
the facts
Yes,
about Mr.
Mr.
Nath.
Nath. You know, when I'm saying Maya jotted down stubbornly, the sentence is also a little, it's not making a lot of meaning. So I realized that ota option hobe na. Correct option
Yes,
hobe na.
correct.
Maya jotted down the facts about Mr. Nath. Yes, I think Sutapa ma'am is sharing 4B. Nishad replied stubbornly. Yes. Nishad replied stubbornly. And 5-year key option.
Devashri ma'am has shared. She has shared
1D.
Maya suspected Mr. Nath as a crooked man.
Right.
So yes, then that is also
Sumana
right.
ma'am is saying 3A, right? And I think একটাই option বেঁচে আছে দৈবী এখন by default 5 এর জন্য. If you could just match the thing as per our teacher shared, 1 এর D বলেছে আমাদের teachers.
Yes, Ramesh was bringing
2 এর
meals.
C বলছে.
Yes.
3 এর
Maya jotted down the
A.
facts about Mr. Nath.
And 4th ka teacher shared 4 এর সুতপা ম্যাম বলছেন B.
Yeah, right.
So it by default leaves 5 এর E. He does not look anything like a monster. This is what Nishad said. So yes, thank you teachers. I think it was fun trying to solve and find the second part of the sentence. We are constantly finding things in this activity because we are detectives after all. Maybe here I think we can do the similar kind of activity with students in different manner. It can be on a display unit, on the board, or through story slips.
Definitely.
But I think ekhane na one more point is it is not important that students memorize the text or anything. What will help them is if they have read the story and they have understood, they will automatically be able to match the sentences because they will know what a sentence is trying to say. And also it also tests their skill.
Yes.
একটা সেন্টেন্সের দুটো পার্ট, like Maya jotted down stubbornly is not making sense, but Maya jotted down the facts about Mr. Nath is making some meaning. Yes. So this skill will also be tested through this.
Yes. Or in this case, I think meaning making is more important. Maybe these sentences may not exactly match the text from the textbook, but when children will solve this activity, then they will learn to construct a sentence meaningfully. So that is our focus for doing this activity. So I think, Vidisha, we can now move on to our grammar part. This was mainly reading and comprehension. So it is very important to read and comprehend a story. And from this story, we can take examples of grammar items. And we can also help children to identify the grammar items from the text. So our first topic in grammar is transitive and intransitive verb. So let's see how we can teach this. So before taking the example, I have a question for our teachers and for you also, Vidisha. So our teachers, please share your opinion. Which process would you prefer to teach grammar? So there are 4 options. You can share whatever option you prefer. And Vidisha, you can also share which process would you prefer while teaching grammar.
Okay. So yeah, I would request support from our teachers, but this is something like what every individual would prefer. Our teachers can share in the chat box and help me. Doibi has অনেক মেহনত করেছে in finding the most difficult questions. যদি আমরা এটা আনসার করব তারপরের বারও আরেকটা ডিফিকাল্ট কোয়েশ্চেন নিয়ে আসবে, আই এম ভেরি শিওর অফ দ্যাট. তো দৈবী, আই থিঙ্ক সুনন্দা ম্যাম ইজ সেইং আই প্রিফার বি. Okay.
Giving examples and then
Examples,
discussing the
yes.
rules. Okay,
And
great.
yes, maybe as you see, telling the rules and then giving examples is difficult because এতগুলো rule, এতগুলো grammar item and এতগুলো rules মনে রাখা and then applying it is difficult. For me, I understand it is difficult for my students also.
Yes.
I think using different online and offline worksheets is a great idea. But I think ওটার জন্য বাচ্চাদেরকে at least grammar itemটা বুঝতে হবে. Like online worksheet I can use to practice. I remember you had shared 2 tools in our previous sessions, IXL and quizzes. ওখানে অনেকগুলো গ্রামার আইটেমস এর জন্য ওয়ার্কশিট আর কুইজেস আছে, তো ওটা বাচ্চারা তখন সলভ করতে পারবে ফর প্র্যাকটিস অর জাস্ট টু ক্লিয়ার দেয়ার কনসেপ্ট। কিন্তু ফার্স্টে কনসেপ্টটা তো জানতে হবে বা কনসেপ্টটা এক্সপেরিয়েন্স করতে হবে। Tusharika ma'am, Debashri ma'am,
I think most of our teachers are going with option B, giving examples.
Sunanda ma'am is saying D.
Yeah.
Sunanda ma'am is saying
most of our teachers are B and D.
I think I will also do the same. I will take examples from stories and poems, and then through those examples I will discuss the rules. Because I think, like I shared in the beginning, that in the stories and poems they are able to see the use of grammar and then it has a context, so it's easier for students to understand. অনেক সময় ওরা প্র্যাকটিস করতে পারে না বা এক্সাম্পল নিজের থেকে দিতে পারে না, কেন কি অতটা ভালো করে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটাকে নিয়ে ইউজ টু নয়, ফ্যামিলিয়ার নয়। So I think stories give us that context, and then using those examples we can discuss the rules. So let's see, Doibi, how you have planned the session. Thank you everyone. Thank you teachers for sharing how you would teach. Sudhir sir and Shorbila ma'am prefer option D. Santosh sir prefers option B. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. So I think I should share the example. So Vidisha, can you read the sentence?
Okay. One, Maya jotted down.
So is it making any sense to you? Our teachers can also share their opinion. Maya jotted down. Is this sentence making any sense, or is it correctly making any meaning? Can you understand anything from this sentence?
I think our teachers can help me in this. But I think Maya jotted down. Like আমি বুঝতে পারছি যে মায়া কি করলো।
Shunanda ma'am, she has shared no. I think sentence is not complete.
Peace at mind and heart. আমি নাম জানি না, বারবার ওই জন্য আমি হ্যান্ডেলটা বলছি।
আপনি আপনার নামটাও শেয়ার করতে পারেন,
নামটা শেয়ার করে দিন। আমরা বারবার তাহলে আর আপনার ইউজার নেম হ্যান্ডেল দিয়ে আপনাকে রেফার করব না, ভাল লাগছে না আমার এটা করতে। কিন্তু হ্যাঁ, তো থ্যাংক ইউ সুনন্দা ম্যাম। অ্যান্ড the other handle, Maya jotted down, to mane Maya wrote something that I understood because I know the meaning of the word jotted.
Yeah.
It seems a little incomplete. Like jotted down what?
It's incomplete actually.
Yes. Thank you, Tusharika ma'am, Sutapa ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. So this was incomplete. Now I'm sharing one more sentence, and now you can read this sentence and try to understand the meaning. Yeah.
This is a sentence that came in our match the following exercise also.
Exactly.
এটা আমি ভুল করেছিলাম। Maya jotted down the facts about Mr. Nath. Yes, now I know there is a একটা object আছে যে মানে Maya jotted down what?
Yes.
Yes.
And Maya jotted down what? The facts about Mr. Nath. So this is completing the sentence. And what was you were asking previously? Maya jotted down what? That was something incomplete. You were feeling something incomplete in that sentence. Now it is complete. Maya jotted down facts about Mr. Nath. And it is making giving a complete meaning of the sentence.
True.
So I think I should take one or two more examples like this. Like Nishat replied stubbornly. Then also I think here also something Nishat replied stubbornly what? and read out this sentence. What about this sentence?
Nishad replied stubbornly to Maya.
To Maya.
Yes,
To whom?
I mean
To
এখানে
Maya.
বেশি সেন্স আমি মানে বেশি মিনিংটা ভালো করে বুঝতে পারছি কেন কি
Exactly.
now I know Nishad replied stubbornly to whom, মানে there is a receiver of that action in every sentence, chahe it is a even though it's a facts about Mr. Nath, there's a recipient of the action. Similarly in this Maya walked away, কিন্তু কোথার থেকে চলে গেল বা কোথায় চলে গেল ওটা আমি বুঝতে পারছি না ফার্স্ট সেন্টেন্সে, বাট 3B তে I get the complete meaning about this.
Yes. So Vidisha, I think এখানে আমরা বুঝতে পারছি যে now we can identify the meaning of the sentence. Like we can also differentiate the two sentences. Like one sentence is Maya jotted down, which is incomplete and which has no object in it. And there was no receiver. Maya jotted down what, who, to whom, anything. So that was incomplete. And in the second sentence, the sentence is complete. There is an object in this sentence. Maya jotted down the facts about Mr. Nath, or Nishad replied stubbornly to Maya. So we can clearly identify the difference between these two sentences. So I think this will help children to identify which sentence has object and which sentence is incomplete without object.
I think তৈবি যেরকম আমরা এখানে নিজের থেকে ডিফারেন্সিয়েশনটা করলাম, so this exercise with students can also differentiate, like they can differentiate between two sentences. They might not be able to use words like object or receiver যেরকম আমাদের টিচার্সরা শেয়ার করছে, বাট কোনটা কমপ্লিট বেশি মিনিং হচ্ছে আর কোনটা ইজ ইনকমপ্লিট বা বাচ্চারা কমপ্লিট ইনফরমেশন পাচ্ছে না কোন সেন্টেন্সটার থেকে, this they can share. So this will help us to introduce transitive verbs.
Yes.
That why does transitive verb not make meaning, কেন কি এটাতে অবজেক্ট নেই, তো এটা বাচ্চারা নিজের থেকে করে দেখেছে যে they have made the differentiation or experience this activity themselves, so they will be able to come to the rule on their own. আর এই সেন্টেন্স গুলো ওদেরকে দিতে হচ্ছে না, এই সেন্টেন্স গুলো অলরেডি টেক্সট বুকে আছে, তো they already have read these sentences, heard these sentences in the video, and now they are seeing the use and they are seeing how half information মানে smaller sentence dile how the meaning is incomplete and now how the meaning is complete, so they are able to make this distinction. So I think this will help them in understanding the concept a little better through these examples.
Definitely. And they will be able to use this sentence. They will consciously they will be aware consciously they can, while writing a sentence, they will consciously take the decision how to complete a sentence. So and in this way we can introduce transitive and intransitive.
There is a suggestion by Sananda ma'am that sometimes the sentences seem complete in itself. Yes, definitely ma'am, like if I say that Doibi sang beautifully, the sentence is complete and it does not require an object there, but in some sentences an object is required. So to come to this understanding, we are not giving the rules, but students are arriving at the rules themselves or finding out understanding the rule more necessarily through the examples. And also ma'am has shared, thank you ma'am, that sometimes this chapter is also very confusing for the students. So I think এটার বিষয়ে আমরা পরেও ডিসকাস করব, but here just that আমরা এই লেসনটা নিয়েছি as an example because it is us as teachers, and here in this one lesson we are discussing 3 grammar items, but I know that you do not introduce 3 grammar items in one single class, তাই না? আমরা বিকজ অফ আ টাইম লিমিট বা একটা মোডের লিমিটের জন্য আমরা একটাই লেসনে 3টে গ্রামার আইটেম নিয়েছি আর এখানে ডিসকাস করছি, বাট দিস ইজ আপ টু আস দ্যাট ইন উইচ লেসন উই ওয়ান্ট টু ইন্ট্রোডিউস উইচ গ্রামার আইটেম। এরকম কোনো হার্ড অ্যান্ড ফাস্ট রুল নেই যে এই লেসনে এই গ্রামার আইটেমই ইন্ট্রোডিউস করতে হবে। আই থিঙ্ক that's the best thing about being a teacher, that we have the flexibility of deciding how and what we want to introduce. But thank you, ma'am, for pointing that out. I think we all should have discuss we should all should discuss things like this. Thank you, ma'am. तो भी आगे बढ़े फिर।
हाँ, हम आगे बढ़ते हैं एंड आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज कंपाउंड वर्ड्स. सो आई थिंक दिस इज आल्सो इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट, आल्सो important part for children to understand, identify the compound words, and also when they will learn to identify the compound words, they will able to use it. So I think there is one more interesting activity to learn compound words, and still we are playing detective. And I think before going to the compound word, I have one more question related to the teaching process. And so our teachers can also please share your opinion about this. Which of the following activity to introduce compound word will ensure active participation? So Vidisha, you can also share your opinion. There are 4 options, and I think our teachers can share their opinion. What will they
यहाँ पे आई थिंक बेबी আমাদের অবজেক্টিভ তুমি চেঞ্জ করে দিয়েছো যে এটা অ্যাক্টিভ পার্টিসিপেশন এনশিওর করছি আমরা।
Yes.
তো আই মিন এ তো আমাদের টিচার্সরা আগের থেকে রুল আউট করে দিয়েছিল ফার্স্ট অ্যাক্টিভিটি থেকে। nobody was choosing rules and then example. So going by their choice of the previous, I'm using my previous experience to rule out A. I think okay, peace at mind and heart, ma'am sir.
Option B.
He bolchen.
Okay, using pictures and word cards and guess the words.
Would prefer that.
Okay. Sunanda ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, Sunanda ma'am of B bolchen. Definitely, I think B-টা একটু সোজা দইবি কেন কি as of now I am assuming that our students only know the vocabulary but they don't have the concept of compound words. So if I directly ask them to find word from the text, তো আমার মনে হয় না ওরা যখন জানেই না compound words কি তখন কি করে খুঁজে বের করবে। তো আমার মনে হয় যে এটা প্র্যাকটিসের জন্য অপশন সি আর অপশন ডিটা ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু ইন্ট্রোডাকশনের জন্য অ্যাক্টিভ পার্টিসিপেশন তখন হবে যখন আমাদের স্টুডেন্টসরা অ্যাক্টিভিটিটা বুঝতে পারবে, ইন্টারেস্ট নেবে, তবে তো অ্যাক্টিভ পার্টিসিপেশন হবে। সো option C and D are valid, but I think I would want to do that after I have introduced the compound word.
Using worksheets, we can
definitely.
Yes, we can introduce
Sharmila
worksheet
ma'am and Siddharth sir also
introducing.
saying
Yes, option B.
Sharmila ma'am also says that B then C. Definitely.
Okay,
thank you ma'am.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think we should go with option B, and I would also prefer option B, using picture and word cards. So let's see this interesting activity, and
detective khelwa.
Yes, we can also play detective game like this in our classroom also. That will be very interesting for our children, and we can also use this kind of pictures and word cards on our display unit. So I think Vidisha, you have to guess. Our teachers will help you. So let's guess the word. What is it?
I think এবার টিচার্সরা গেস করবে, আমি
we should wait till our teachers.
No, ওটাই বলছি আমি, এবার আমাদের টিচার্সরা গেস করবে, আমি ওনাদেরকে হেল্প করব। আমি গেস করেছি, ম্যাম স্যাররা হেল্প করছিলেন।
So Vidisha, can you just identify can you guess any word from this picture?
So these two words together will form one word. Is
yes,
correct?
You can see a plus sign, and there are 2 pictures, and they will mix. We can just
bulb.
Yeah,
bulb. একটা তো bulb.
Yes, there is a bulb. Okay.
And there is a building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Okay, I am not giving the wrong answer.
Got your answer.
I have given me the answer. So yes, thank you Sunanda ma'am, Shutapa ma'am, Tusharika ma'am and Shormila ma'am have said it's a lighthouse. So ami ar matha lagacchi na, I am saying lighthouse.
Yes, everyone is they are correct, and
yes,
it is lighthouse. And let's move to our next question. So Vidisha, yes, our teachers, please share
yes, yes. কি
কি ওয়ার্ড হতে পারে এটা? Let's
bonfire,
guess the word.
bonfire.
Bonfire. Okay. Bonfire and
না
plus
না,
flies. Bonfire and flies.
oh হ্যাঁ, right.
Is
I
it making any
did
word?
not see the, no, it's not making a word. Yellow fly, yellow fly, orange
Fly
fly.
and Sunanda ma'am, she is very active, and firefly. So what do you think,
Firefly,
Vidisha?
yes,
Firefly.
fire. Oh yes,
Okay,
firefly
firefly.
came on fire.
But
I went till bonfire,
but
but
can you count how many flies? Is there a fly or flies?
oh, plural আছে, হ্যাঁ, yes. So it's fireflies, right?
Fireflies,
Thank you,
correct.
Sunanda ma'am, Sutapa ma'am. It's fireflies. Yes, there are more than one fly in the picture. So yes, we are using the plural of the word.
Okay, our next picture. Now let's guess the word.
TV postcard. ये कैसा
TV
word हुआ?
and yeah, postcard or anything
हाँ,
that can be anything.
Blue,
Yeah, envelope.
blue envelope.
Okay.
Envelope, card, TV card, TV letter.
TV card, or can you observe something special in the TV or something?
Antenna. ये पुराने जमाने का टीवी लग रहा है दोजी मुझे तो
हाँ।
एंटेना हुआ है दूरदर्शन चले एटाते
दूरदर्शन वाले टीवी है, yes,
হ্যাঁ
definitely.
তোমাদের টিভিতে খালি দূরদর্শন চলে,
but wordটা কি হতে পারে? Can you guess the word? Actually, our teacher, I'm just waiting for our reply from our teachers.
Yes, I think we are still at fireflies.
Yeah.
TV set,
or anything like news. Sunanda ma'am,
newsletter. Thank you, Sunanda ma'am. Newsletter.
Yes. So this
news
is
cholche TV te hai doordarshan.
Yes, newsletter. This is newsletter.
News and letter. Okay.
Our last example, and I think I'm right to quickly answer the chesta korbo. And
dry fruit.
Yes, dry fruit. There are dry fruits, and we have to guess the correct word.
ये तो walnut का shell लग रहा है मुझे.
Yes, you are correct. There are dry fruits, walnut का shell.
Dry fruit shell तो कुछ नहीं होता है word. Nut. Oh yes. Okay, now I got this answer. It's nut shell.
Shell.
Yes, right.
Yes. So yes. I think in this
nut
way.
Shell. Gauri ma'am, thank you. Sudhir
yes,
sir
nut shell.
बोले दिए I am right. Thank you, Sudhir sir. Yes. Okay, তো compound words তো I think এখানে আমরা এভাবে introduce করতে পারবো বাচ্চাদেরকে যে when two words form, now I see the activity that when two words form to make a new word different in meaning, and then because students have played this game, so next time whenever they come across a compound word or hear compound word, they will remember this, or because they've experienced this, it will be easier for them to understand that compound words kya hota hai.
And also we can point out that the individual words like nut or shell, they have also their individual meaning, and when they are combined together, they are also presenting a different meaning. So we can highlight this point also. So this activity, I think that this will be very engaging, and we can ensure the whole class participation through this activity. Also, we can arrange a quiz context using this activity. And now we are coming to the text, and now we can ask children to find out compound words from the textbook, and from
এটা আমাদের টিচার্সরাও বলেছিলেন যে আগে আমরা এক্সাম্পল দিয়ে মানে পিকচার্স দিয়ে পড়াবো, and then we can after that we can do B and then C. তুষারিকা ম্যাম বলেছিলেন যে B and then C. So I think this is how we can practice it from the lesson. So ছোট একটা passage, I think our teachers can quickly share the compound words that they find in this story. It is, we are using the same text to practice. So I will also try to find the compound words. I hope it is clearly visible. I have to read. I think
just
I'll
quickly we have to
I
read
will
it,
read
and
quickly.
we have to find out. And I think it is visible when we know what are the compound words,
Compound
and
words,
it is
right?
easy, it is easier for us to find out the words, to
I
identify the words from a textbook.
I
And this will be okay, this can be a very interesting group activity also.
Yes,
How
group
many,
or pair task.
yes, কতগুলো compound words can you find from the text, and
Right,
we can just announce a winner who
right.
for
So
that
Devi,
group.
Siddharth sir
Yes,
and Tanushri ma'am have said anywhere is a
anywhere. Okay,
compound word.
let me highlight,
Highlight it,
let
yes.
me highlight the
Right.
word. Yes, anywhere. Okay,
Anywhere,
we have found one.
one,
And
and
somewhere.
somewhere. Tanushri ma'am
Okay,
is saying
Tanushree ma'am,
somewhere.
somewhere,
Right.
that is also correct.
Correct. I think
Somewhere,
তলায় একটা আছে
anything you can find.
somewhere
Something.
something.
Yes,
Shrutapa ma'am is
Shrutapa
saying
ma'am,
something.
something.
And I can see
Okay.
a hyphenated compound word doibi shoot out.
Shoot out, that is also correct. This is a hyphenated compound word, and through this activity we can also introduce hyphenated compound words, and something, anything, anywhere, this kind of compound words which are without hyphen.
Right.
So I think this activity will help children, and they will children will be also able to use compound words while in their sentences. So
Thank you. Thank you,
you,
everyone.
everyone.
Yes. Okay. So our next activity is on adverbs. As usual, I'm just reminding that তিনটেই activity একটা lesson এ করা যাবে না. But because we have a limit of time and mode, hence we have taken only one lesson to discuss all three grammar items. Yes, Doibi.
Exactly.
I'm sure এটার উপরেও একটা activity তুমি আমাকে করতে বলবে.
Activity, and I think these activities are really very interesting in our classroom, and children will love to do these activities. And I have given the name "Do It This Way." So I think I have some cards, and we can use the display unit, or we can make some word cards, or else we can just write it on the blackboard. Right. So there are some action words: hop, eat, sweet, nod, love. So you can pick any word you like.
Okay, hop আর sweep তো আমি করতে পারবো না এখন মনিটরের সামনে।
Yes, right.
ইট করার কিছু নেই, তো আমি নডই করছি তাহলে, হ্যাঁ না?
Okay, nod, yes. You can sweep. You can only laugh or nod.
Yes, I will look very funny, but I will have to nod because দৈবী বলেছে। কতক্ষণ নড করতে হবে আমাকে?
Okay, now Bitisha, you can stop and choose another card, like from the pink section.
এটাকেও অ্যাক্টিং করতে হবে?
And now you have to do the action, just nod, or to quickly or slowly or angrily or gently or happily, whatever you will pick. And you have to do the action in that way.
I have to combine my first choice of word with the second choice of word and do that action. Okay.
Yes.
So I will nod slowly then.
Okay, our teachers can also choose the words they like and share, like hop gently or eat quickly, anything they like, and they can share in the chat box.
Till when do I have to nod slowly though?
So nod slowly. Now we can show that nod gently. And slowly and gently, we can see the difference. What can be slowly and what can be gently, or not quickly. What will be your action in quickly? So like this, like eat quickly or eat slowly, eat or can you laugh angrily? Is it possible?
I don't think so. So maybe somebody can, like a sarcastic laugh. I think it's all up to creativity of our learners if they can laugh. But yes, laugh angrily is not something that we would do. Because they are very opposite things. But yes, so I think one thing that I am getting Doibi is that students are choosing মানে যে অ্যাকশনটা করছে, যে the next I have not yet told them that ly লাগিয়ে it is adverbs, but they are seeing how, because they know verbs, they know
Exactly.
eat, sweep, nod, laugh are all verbs. They are seeing how the second word that we are adding to the verb is changing,
Changing their
the
action.
action.
Exactly.
So how adding slowly is changing the first way that you were eating, or it is giving it more meaning. It's quantifying or describing it. কেমন করে খাচ্ছে বা কেমন করে খেতে হবে বা কেমন করে লাফ করতে হবে, how to laugh, sorry, yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
so I think
so definitely, and after this activity we can highlight again these are verbs and these are adverbs, which
right.
And we can also define the meaning and help children to understand the concept. So I think
Sunanda ma'am is laughing loudly, Tanushri ma'am is laughing happily, and Tanushri ma'am is eating slowly. So
sweep
yeah,
gently.
and Sunanda ma'am is saying sweeping gently. So yeah, so I think instead of saying the rule, when students are using and seeing that how the adverb is making change to the verb, I think they will be able to understand the role of an adverb and what it does to a sentence or in a context. Yes, Doibi, we are ready for the next activity.
And I think this is our last activity, and I think we can also in our first activity we have just introduced adverbs to the game. Now we are making children use the adverbs consciously, and they can use these adverbs in a sentence. So for this activity, children can be divided into two groups. One will be team verb and another will be team adverb. And each group will have one word, like
every student will have one word.
Every student will have one word.
Yeah, right.
So in the verb group they will get some words which are action words: walk, talk, look, dance, clap, love, anything. And in the adverb group they will get some adverbs like loudly, slowly, gently. And in team adverb will stay in one side, and team verb will stay in another side, and they can just find out their pair consciously and meaningfully. And this will be a very interesting activity to find out their right pair in the
like
class.
They cannot walk loudly, but they can walk slowly or quickly. So they
cannot look gently.
Yes, definitely. They have to, according to their verb, they have to find a adverb. So they will also be able to make, it's practice, and then it's a meaningful way of understanding which word complements the other. So I think our teachers can share which words they would want to pair with each other. I would pair clap and loudly.
Okay, clap loudly. Yes, it is making sense. Walk, we can pair with walk slowly.
Quickly, Tanushri ma'am bolchen walk quickly. Purnima ma'am bolchen walk slowly. Both make good pairs and explain how the subject is walking. So I think there will be some of the adverbs, there will be multiple options. Some will not have as many options, but it is a fun activity to do in class and practice. So maybe after students have made the pair, then what do we do?
So after they make the pair, we can ask them to write a sentence using the verb and adverb. So walk slowly, walk or talk loudly. They can make some sentences in the pair, and they can share in the class. So this will help them to learn the use of verbs and adverbs while talking or while writing. Right. So this can our teachers can also share some sentence, like Sudhir sir, he has shared clap loudly. So we can make a sentence clap loudly. We can make a sentence with clap loudly. And in this way, children will learn the verbs and adverbs, learn the difference and how they complement each other.
So Doibi, এখানে আমি কেন কি we have already reached the 1 hour mark. I think আমরা একটা quickly recap করে নিতে চাই, because আমরা অনেকগুলো activity discuss করেছি. So first we used one lesson and we did some reading comprehension activities. We began with connecting to previous knowledge through the detective game, and then we saw a video, read the lesson to help students comprehend the story. We asked questions to ensure engagement and check if students are following the story or not. And then to check for comprehension also, we did that match the following activity, যে লেসনটা বুঝতে পেরেছে কিনা, and secondly কোন দুটো পার্টস মিশিয়ে একটা সেন্টেন্স হবে, সেন্টেন্স স্ট্রাকচারটা বুঝতে পারছে কিনা, that also we can assess in that activity. Now coming to the grammar part, we again began with the previous knowledge where we used verb for our adverb and transitive, intransitive word, and vocabulary for our compound words. And then we introduced the grammar item through an activity or through an activity or reading some examples, and then we did an activity to practice every grammar item. It was through the lesson, or in the case of adverbs we did another activity to practice it, like making the pair and writing a sentence on it. So that is how we practiced it. So today we discussed these few things. I hope this will help you. I hope this will be easy for students to understand some concepts. And অনেক দিন পরে দেখা হলো আপনাদের সঙ্গে আবার, and so I am happy that we could meet again.
And Vidisha, we should appreciate our teachers' efforts, and আমরা দেখতে পাই যে আমাদের WhatsApp গ্রুপে continuously they are sharing the photos, they are engaging children, they are actually using the digital tools. They are using Pragyan app, the teaching ideas, videos in the classroom. So that is very inspiring and for us. So we would like to thank all our teachers for their efforts.
COVID এর জন্য স্কুল এতদিন বন্ধ ছিল, and আমরা কত এফর্টস করছি টু ব্রিজ দ্য লার্নিং গ্যাপ, ওটা আমরা দেখছি গ্রুপে আপনাদের ফটো শেয়ার হচ্ছে সবাই. সো yes, it is truly very inspiring, and thank you everyone. I just want to remind that there is specifically a group for all of you on Telegram where there are a lot of updates, lot of content or discussion. You can share your queries, suggestions, feedback. So if you are not a member of this group already, so please, there's a link in the description box in your live chat description box, so you can copy the link and join it. And and there's a app that you all know where there are chapter wise content, teaching ideas. আজকে যেই লেসনটা ডিসকাস করলাম ওটা টিচিং আইডিয়াসও আছে, আপনাদের টার্ম 2 তে যেই টিচিং আইডিয়াসগুলো দরকার হবে ওগুলো আছে, কিছু আপলোড হচ্ছে.
Also there are so many worksheets you can use in your class.
The class worksheets, yes. Teaching ideas, and there are students videos যেটা আপনারা দেখাতে পারেন ক্লাসে. It will be helpful for you. Teacher videos ও আছে. So I hope অ্যাপে কন্টেন্ট গুলো আপনাদের হেল্প হবে. And just a reminder that এরকম আরো ভিডিওস আপনারা প্রজ্ঞান এড ইন্ডিয়া ফাউন্ডেশনের চ্যানেলে পাবেন. You can subscribe to the channel for regular updates, and for our sessions constantly there are sessions being conducted with teachers pan India, so you can join those sessions as well if you want to know something more or want to explore a pedagogy. You're most welcome for it. And lastly আপনাদের কাছে একটা chat box-এ feedback form যাবে like always, where you can please share your feedback, which will help us in organizing the next session so that it is helpful for you and our students in the school, so together we can make the maximum benefit for our students. And lastly, I would want to thank all of you. আপনারা সবাই জুড়ে ছিলেন, constantly they were participating actively. দৈবীর 101টা questions we answered together. Thank you everyone.
thank you. Also, yes, thank you so much to everyone. And definitely, we will meet again in next month with some
Definitely.
more topic. And I think our teachers can also share in the feedback form which topic we should cover in our
Definitely.
next workshop. So definitely, we will expect something, some topics in the feedback form, and please submit the feedback form. It will be very helpful for us. And thank you so much for your participation. And thank you, Bidisha. Thanks to
Thank you,
you.
Doibi. They were very interesting activities. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful meeting you after so long.